Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Oxygen Not Included. I'm Ashenova and we're going to get right into it. Last episode, we went ahead and fixed our smelter. We got this up and running. We started pumping some of this excess water over here and up here into the places where we need it. We made some buffer tanks for our water, and we have made this a Pacu farm for our little friend Pacu right here. We are extending this farm right now, which is the hatch ranch, and this should be up and ready to store up to 8 hatches, so that's exciting. That's almost done. We might actually have to move these blocks over here now that I'm thinking about it, because eventually we're going to want to have an auto sweeper system set up over here. We've caught up on research, and we're going to get right back in today. So today, what I wanted to do is maybe start getting into this slime down here. Now, I really am hesitant on getting into slime. It is really annoying to work around, but thankfully, we already have a bit of water down here. And I've been saving this so that we can go ahead and make ourselves a nice little breakaway so that we don't have to transfer these polluted oxygen gases to the rest of the colony. So I'm probably going to dig down here, and this is going to be our entrance into the polluted oxygen area. The things that we do need is we'll need to set up a sink over here. We'll probably run the water a bit under here, set up a sink. A lot of the time, I like to have a atmosuits ready before I'm getting into this, but we're just going to go ahead and break into it. There's no real reason to wait too much longer. One thing we will have to do also is get an algae distiller going. I think getting it near the surface of our access is probably better than any too much farther down. We were having problems last episode, which we want to resolve with this episode, and that is that when they go down here to go grab the materials, they'll come back up, and they'll drop it, and we want to try to avoid that. We're going to go ahead and start by getting the ladders all the way down here. Start by doing all of that. We also want to continue some research, get those Atmos suits up and running. So if we can get these up and running, we'll be doing a lot better with our fluid oxygen issues. And the last thing we want to get going is we need some more refined metal, probably some more iron ore. Let's go 10. And one thing we will add is if we see all, we go to iron, iron ore, and iron, so we see exactly how much of this that we have. This is surprisingly full. I want to make sure. Is this clogged? Shouldn't ever be clogged. It's getting priority right there. We want this thing to have priority. So otherwise, yeah, we were really close to having these bathrooms backed up, and that would not have been nice. Speaking of not being nice and backing up, we are getting some power backups. And I kind of want this to have NG's tune-up as well. So we're going to try to give these higher priority so that they will get them. Get to it, Copper. We need these things in ship shape as quick as possible. And there we go. We just got the tune-up for the coal generators. So hopefully they're able to keep up with the demand of the metal refinery now. Okay, we made it to cycle 29. Not too much has changed. I went ahead and moved these 3 blocks over here. So now I can go ahead and break these. Everything up here, still the same. We're still slowly making progress down to here. We've got a lot of CO2 buildup right here, and I wish we would have had a carbon skimmer over here. But I might build another one down here. There's no fault in having more than one. The other solution that you could give to getting through this stuff without Atmos suits is you could use the oxygen masks, which I personally don't like using. I think by the time you're using oxygen masks, you probably have a spam up, and you're probably ready to go ahead and use Atmos suits anyway. I think that's something that we can just avoid. Checking on our good Pacu over here. His wilderness is now at 76%, and he is age 9, which is just kind of perfect. He'll be able to lay a good amount of eggs before we are done with him, and we can get some fish in this colony. I think we can store a good amount of fish. Let's do the math real quick. They each need 8 cells of water. 238 cells of water. It looks like this can hold 27 Paku, which is really good. Maybe 28 if it goes all the way up to year and up to year. So this is going to be an awesome Paku ranch. 27, that means 27 eggs per cycle once we get going, and that will feed the colony very well. And you just need to feed them algae and feed them seeds, which we'll be getting a lot of seeds down the line. So I think this is a success over here. I'm happy about that. I do need to figure out what to do with the rest of this polluted water, and I think I'm just going to feed it into this. Maybe because this isn't full, it can hold a bit more water. It's so close, and that's fine. We'll take it. That is fine. And we can go ahead and destroy the rest of these extra pipes that have been making the base look a bit more cluttered. More cluttered than it has to be. We're almost done cleaning this out. Which we can leave this actually for a bit. I'd rather get the water cleaned up and closer to the base rather than cleaning up there sooner. So we'll see if we can do that. We do need to get to this more iron over here so we can finish making more iron structures. And I might just go ahead and do a water lock over here so we can start getting over to this awesome Draco. We're going to need a Draco down the line so we can get a glossy Draco. And I think we're going to put the ranch right here. We could also put them in our mealwood farm, but I think that is a little short-sighted. I think we're going to go ahead and need another ranch down here anyway. Typically, I like my Draco ranches being up and down in terms of how I have them, like vertical style. We could still do that over here, but we could use this as a temporary Draco ranch. So we're going to go ahead and try to do that, and we'll try to get our Draco over here. And here we go. This is probably how we're going to have it set up right now. I think the Draco will be able to walk around all of this, but I'd rather have symmetry over here with the area up here. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, shoot. We have someone entombed. What's happened? Oh my goodness, Florine. Oh no. How did you do that? I'd say it's impressive, but I don't want this to happen. Hopefully they go and save him real quick. There we go, Florine, come on, get out of there. You know better. Hopefully none of those guys end up killing themselves while they're doing that. But we're going to go ahead on to the next step, which is getting into a vacuum over here. And this should do the trick. They will have eye irritation coming into here, but hey, we'll get ourselves a nice Draco, which is only of the age of 78. Oh, goodness, no. That's pretty old. 78. He's about half. He'll be able to lay an egg. It's just low chance of a glossy Draco. Hello. How old are you? He's 130, but he does have an egg right here. We do have a way to get to here. The gears are turning. We'll try this. So we can just get this Draco egg right here. That way, in case this guy doesn't lay a glossy Draco, we already have plan B going. Look at this hatch who found its way into my farm. We're going to go ahead and wrangle him up and put him up here, because this can hold up to 8 critters. Okay, we're here on cycle 30. We have a new ranch being formed right now. A lot of our guys are up at work. They are working as hard as they can. I like to see it. I'm going to go ahead and drop some more of these, just so that we have some item storage and it's not too far away from the base. We're already getting long commutes, but there's nothing you can do about long commutes. I have tried, I have thought, I have done my diligent amount of research, and long commutes is just going to be there, and we're just going to have to suck it up. But we are going to try to get Dracos from 2 fronts. If you see right here, we have a vacuum right here. That's just what we want to see, because we're going to go ahead and try to abuse this vacuum to get to this Draco without this hydrogen gas affecting us all too much. So we'll see what we can do like this. I'm going to go ahead and try to push all this water out until we're done cleaning all this water out of the system. Now I did dig this a bit lower than where the pump is, so we shouldn't get rid of our liquid lock right here. So that should still be fine. do have a good amount of Drekos actually cruising around. They do tend to be pretty old because I think they spawn at the beginning of the game, so I don't think you're going to find anything under the age of 30. We're actually going to make these not sweep only, but we're going to make sure they're not grabbing organics in here. We're going to copy this setting, and that way they'll just pick up stuff across here. So whenever they don't have anything to do, they'll be tidying. Oh no! Oh, that's not good. We're at 0 calories. That is not good at all. I'm going to go ahead and prioritize making these bristle blossoms. I guess I wasn't keeping as good of a track on food as I thought I was. Oh no, okay. It's not the end of the world. We do have some emergency calories right here. We have some emergency calories over here. And we have this little piece of meal lice that's not super fresh, but it is something. We do have a muck root down here too, if I can let them get to it. And these are just some temporary fixes. I'm not going to live off muck root. Hopefully we can get the bristle blossoms going. In fact, they should have already had crystalberry, which if they've harvested this, we have to go ahead and turn bristleberry off consumable, because when you cook it, for whatever reason, you get more calories. So we want to try to make sure they cook that. And we have a new duplicate available. Let's see what we got. Thankfully, I don't like any of these guys. Not like we could take one right now, because we are having a calorie shortage. So I'm going to click the button and say goodbye to all of them. There are some big sweetles down here that, you know what? They're looking kind of tasty. If we can't fix this problem, this might be our fix. We're back at cycle 31, and it looks like crisis averted. We're back up at 7,800 calories, and they're harvesting a lot of meal lice. We could have just checked it on a cycle that we were low, but at the same time, that's pretty dangerously low. I might have to find a way to mediate the calories until I get all of these bristle blossoms ready to go, which we need to get more seeds. So here's one over here. I don't see any others that I want to dig up. I mean, we could dig up these ones, but I need this for the nature preserve. There could be some seeds in here, so we might as well check. There's a couple pieces of muck root right here, but I'm leaving them for the nature preserve, so they're there. I'm not going to touch them. Technically, you could get these bristle blossoms and leave this whole ring for the nature preserve. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that because we need the bristle blossom seeds. I think Carbon's doing great as our primary digger, but I think we need some more diggers. So these guys that don't really have a skill right now, I think I give them some digging. A lot of these guys can go for a more advanced skill, but I don't think our morale is there yet. I think this might be worth it. Just because his morale is really close, Masterworks will greatly improve their morale. So I think this is worth it. And they get a nice hat. Now that that's underway and we've upgraded a little bit of our people, I think we have to put the Masterworks to Masterwork and go ahead and research the art. Something else we can do is remove the ration box. It's not doing anyone a service at this point. We're also going to take some time to upgrade our lab. It's going to be a bit more robust, and I think we'll get some more stuff done a little bit sooner. So I like this. Now that we do have some art that we can research, we still need to get something, and that's going to be some reed fiber. We have a lot of it naturally growing over here, which is really good because we can use this right away for some art materials. However, we still need to get down to it, so I'm going to make this a bit higher priority. Their work has been a little bit scatterbrained recently, and I think it's because of all of these. So we're going to bring these down to a 4, so they don't feel tempted to just fill these up and feel like they've done a good job, because we all know that we're waiting on real stuff to get done. Now we made it to cycle 32. We're starting to get this water lock system underway, which is in a nick of time, because we want to go ahead and break ourselves into the slime biome, which, oh my god, it is really big. It's going to take us a long time for us to go ahead and filter all of this out. So That's going to be a several episode project. A good report is that we're getting a slightly better, despite the starvation, we're getting a slightly better calorie count. Some of that is still muckroot, that's just keeping us alive, but when these things start growing, I think they're going to help tremendously. I think we can go ahead and start the natural park up here. We go ahead and there we go, got our natural park. Now there is a system I would like to set up with a barracks over here, but there's a few problems with having barracks over here, and one is whatever this is. Now I have no clue what it is, and as soon as we dig it, there's no one doing it. So I might hold off on putting barracks over here until I know what it is, but hey, we'll have a natural park, all good and ready to go. That's something. Look at this awesome vacuum we have over here. You guys ought to be proud of yourselves. You got a lot of this done. And we're going to break into this fluid oxygen. But before we do, I want to make sure that we got a good round of deodorizers sitting around so that we just don't blast ourselves with all of this yucky lungs. Did a little bit more exploring around, and we looks to have another geyser over here. We are just completely surrounded in these geysers. We can go ahead and test what this one is without it erupting. We can go ahead and cook one over here, and when they're ready, I'll go ahead and give them the skill so they can go ahead and dig obsidian. I think copper needs the super hard digging skill yet. We've almost got this cleaned up so we can get this ladder going over here. We might as well go ahead and make the mess hall a little bit bigger. Back on cycle 33, and I think we have the nature preserve operational. So that's awesome. We have also are in the process of turning this mess hall into a great hall as soon as we can go ahead and have our decorator come here and decorate this large sculpting block, which Fluorine is finishing up right now. Copper's doing the good work in keeping these engines up and operational so that we don't have to worry about the metal refinery running out of juice. And there he goes. I wonder what kind of sculpture he's going to go ahead and make. And there we go. We have our hypothesizer, which is nice. So this room should now be a great hall, which is perfect. I think it's safe to go ahead and deconstruct this now. I don't think we need this anymore, which also means we don't need this anymore. We've got something else coming from the printing pod. I don't like anyone else coming from this printing pod right now. We have just normalized our calories, which is good. I'd like to get a bit more of a surplus of what we have right now. Since we're not taking any of the bonuses, I think we just reject all these. I don't like him, and I don't like Pi. How do you say this name? Pia? Pi? Well, doesn't matter, because she's not joining the colony. Oh no, our hatches are cramped, and that's because they're starting to hatching and laying more eggs. This guy's a little bit old. I think we go ahead and get rid of him. And we going to need to start getting a system to move these eggs somewhere while they incubate. And here we are on cycle 34. We've almost made it into the slime biome. We're so close. I think what's holding us up is that we need hard diggers to go ahead and dig this amount out. And they kind of don't like coming into this vacuum over here, which I can't blame them. But we do need to get into here, so whether they like it or not, we're going to have to bust through. Most of everything else is going nominal. We have just gotten to this Treklet egg, and I'm going to go ahead and relocate it all the way over to here and give that a pretty high priority because I don't want that thing hatching. This Draco is near the end of its lifespan, and it's not going to lay another egg. So I think we just go ahead and use it. That's some calories. Now that this system has finished getting rid of all the water, we can clean up some more of the plumbing a little bit. We can get rid of this little absurd system of piperage. And we can go back to reconnecting our sewer line so we can get all this cleaned up. Now we could use a lot of this polluted water to grow some plants, like some thimbleweed fiber, but I'd much rather use it from all down here, and I think I'm going to get a polluted water basin down here. I think that's the strategy I go with. I think we go ahead and make these miscellaneous rooms up here, just so they're done, and I don't have to think about them. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and start making all these rooms over here. We are back at cycle 35, and these guys are hard at work building these extra rooms, which we don't currently have a use for at the moment, but I think they just like having the extra space, so they are working really hard on getting that up. Eventually we'll have a separate colony group, probably up near the top, and they're going to take over the top portion objectives while we keep the bottom people doing their main stuff. One thing we will eventually need is a spawn. I mean, we're getting a good enough amount of water that we might go ahead and put a spawn somewhere down here. Now, I did notice that there is this ice area down here, and I like building my spawns in the ice areas, mainly because it, one, warms up the area, and two, there could be an anti-entropy thermonullifier down here, which tends to keep the oxygen nice and chill with just a little bit of hydrogen, so I think that's worth it. Now, they do not appear to want to come over here, and it's not like this is unreachable. It is unreachable. Why is it unreachable? Oh, no, it's not unreachable. But we're going to go ahead and prioritize this, so they go ahead and get this done, because I want them to break into this slime before the end of this episode, so they better chop to it. And that's all it took, is changing the priority a little bit, because look at all these people that we have working down here. And the sooner they get into this fluid oxygen, the sooner they'll be able to breathe in this general area. So hopefully they prioritize getting this done quickly. That's sitting there around 20 kilograms of fluid oxygen, so it is pretty dense over here. So once this opens, it's going to shoot all into here. And there it is, they broke into it. So we're now officially in the slime biome, which is amazing. We could go ahead and harvest another Pacu. I think we have a few Pacu eggs lying around, but they're far and few between, so we might go ahead and grab ourselves another Pacu. This area should fill up with oxygen soon. They should be much easier to get into. I might go ahead and put a carbon skimmer in here just to clean out this carbon until we have a bigger open area that we can go ahead and set up as the main carbon dioxide filtration area. Yeah, I'm happy. We're going to go ahead and break into this area. This is going to turn normal oxygen, and hopefully this will not off-gas all too much. I might go ahead and drop some water on here just to stop it from off-gassing, but that might be at a later date. Alrighty, we just broke into cycle 36. So a few things got done this episode. They did finish making all that iron, so now we have 1,000 kilograms of refined iron, which we can use for a lot of things. We might end up making exosuits, so we will see how that goes. We have broken into the slime biome safely without all the fluid oxygen getting into our normal base. However, this carbon dioxide ladder we will have to fix, and I'll probably address that next episode. We do have a Drecklet egg coming in here, and honestly, these, we can start harvesting these mealwoods for now, but when this Drecko starts finishing its incubation, which is at 58% right now, it's going to go ahead and eat this mealwood to eventually lay a glossy Drecko egg, so we're going to wait on that. The hatch farm is going pretty good. We're going to need to have a solid filtration system to go ahead and pull out all the extra eggs out of here. So that's something to look forward to. It might not be next episode, but the one after that, because Copper still needs to earn those skill points and be able to do that. This mostly got cleaned up. I might just mop up this fluid water. I could leave it on the ground for right now, just to, prevent it from off-gassing, because once you clean it up, it will start off-gassing. But right now it's got this water over it, so it really can't do that. So I might just leave it there for right now. Our water area is doing pretty good. We have our Pacu, and we have a few eggs here. There's one egg right there, and I don't see any other ones. Well, we do have one egg, and he's going to start laying one egg per cycle. So that's something to look forward to. He's age 16, so before he's done, he's going to lay us 10 more Pacu eggs, which is not even enough to get this farm finished. We have the metal refinery up and operational, and we have enough iron to actually make a lot more refined iron, so that's something we'll probably focus on a little bit. We've broken into this hydrogen biome over here, and we're trying to break in to see what this is, and we'll probably explore that every other episode. We'll probably be able to break into here. We have our artist online. Before our artist can do a lot of the work, I'd like to get some of these thimble reed fibers so I can go ahead and make some art. So yeah, we got a good amount of stuff done. They're making some extra rooms up here, which we don't know what they're going to be used for yet. I don't know what they're going to be used for yet, but it's going to be pretty useful. But I think that'll conclude it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed watching. My name is Ashenova, and if you liked this video, please add a like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I'm doing a good job. Maybe I'm doing a terrible job and overlooking something. And if you have so many better ideas for me to do something, please leave it in the comments below. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Ciao.